Well, like I told the team, I mean, any win is a good win, and we'll certainly celebrate the win, and that was a team that we were better than and we should have beat. And it was good to go out and do it. At the same time, I think there were some things that we have to get still cleaned up. I thought the second quarter we were very sloppy. We had too many penalties. I was really disappointed that we didn't field kicks well. We mishandled 2 or 3 kicks, and at times we didn't tackle well. And we know with the MAC schedule and with the crew coming in next week that the level of competition is going to step up. And we got to get to work this week in practice and get it fixed. By the same token, it feels good to be 2-0, and it's good to make corrections after a win.
Dave, this is, I hate to say it, kind of almost cliche. It's almost the perfect win. You win, it's a comfortable victory, plenty of teachable moments.
Yeah, and the other thing that's great, it's the first time since we've been here as a staff that we've been able to empty the bench and play guys. And it's great to have a game like this early in the year, because whether it's Trent Hurley or Clay Rolfe or Brian Sutton or Daryl Hunter, and we were getting some young players in there that at some point this year we're going to need to win a game, against a conference opponent. And it's great that you're able to get them in there and get them reps and give them plays in a game situation, and they busted. But now you can go there, and it gives them a better idea how to prepare. And really, when you play a game like this, obviously the first goal is to win the game, but as a staff, we certainly hope we would play well and have a chance to get some guys in that haven't played any football yet. And unfortunately, we're able to do that. I mean, getting Jamel Martin in there, I think he's a very talented player that had to go in there and get game reps. And great to see John Pettigrew get out there. And there's a number of guys. And we got a whole second offensive line in there. And we have not been able to do that before. So again, I appreciate that we were able to schedule this game, and but now we got to buckle it back up, and the competition steps up next week.
Well, you talked a little bit about the play of Matt Shills and well, especially Binky, but I mean the whole receiver core. I mean, it looked like for the most part that they were pretty sharp.
They were, and in a game like this, you want them to go out there and be efficient. And the first quarter, really it's 2 games in a row that I don't care if it's offense going against air. To throw the ball that well and that efficiently is not easy to do. We don't do it in practice a lot against the scout team. So it was neat to see 2 weeks in a row Matt step up and be very efficient and be accurate. And Eugene Cooper, I mean, we knew last spring that he had a chance to be a really good player. And for 2 years in a row, we've been dependent on one receiver at one position to carry the load of the pass game. And it was real important for us to develop that slot and to develop another threat. Because last year, any game that teams rolled up on Kamar, he didn't have a good game, but we did not move the football at all. So, the 2 things that we talked about all offseason were getting better running the football and developing another receiver or 2 that, if teams want to roll the coverage up to Kamar and take him out of the game, that's fine. We've got other places to go with the football. And he's developed, he's a good football player too.
Generally happy with the running game? I mean, in the second half it cranked up. Were you happy with it, what you saw in the first half out of the running game?
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. I was really just upset about the turnovers and disappointed with some of the penalties. The chop block and the late hit. I mean, it's just bad football. And the one thing we'll make a point of is, you play a game like this and you end up winning by 40-some points, and those things get washed away. But plays like that can cost you football games. And our guys need to buy into that. That it was one play and one drive, but when we get into league competition and when we play Wyoming and the other teams that we play, enough games the last 2 years here have come down to the final quarter and final 2 minutes that, I mean, those plays can cost you games.
We talked a little bit about the defense in the first half. They sprung the 61-yarder. Their quarterback seemed, tell me if you agree or disagree, it looked like their success came on scrambles and breakdowns in is what I'm looking for here. Just containment, I guess.
Yeah, and that was what they had shown on film, that we thought their quarterback was more dangerous escaping the pocket than he was necessarily throwing the football. You know, and our biggest concern going into this game were not the plays by design, but the plays outside of the design. You know, he's a better athlete than he is an accurate thrower. And, you know, we missed 4 sacks. At times our pass rush lanes and what we call our cage principles were really out of whack. You know, we wanted 2-and-2 distribution, and at times a guy would get washed and became 3-and-1, and the quarterback would step up, and if you're in man coverage and everybody's turned their back, I mean, there were some running lanes. And, you know, if we're going to pressure, we're going to play man, we've got to hold the cage better than we did tonight. And he was an athletic quarterback, but we'll play other athletic quarterbacks. So, you know, again, from last week there was a couple of things, and certainly from this week, to me on offense, the penalties and the turnovers. Defensively, our inability to hold a quarterback in the pocket. And then the special teams, just how we didn't handle the kicks or the clear things that we need to get better at.
How about the crowd tonight? The bleachers, the whole section behind you was entirely full, and
Awesome.
on the other side.
Just awesome. I just want to thank our students and our fans for coming out. That you know, we had a really neat kind of pep rally before at the Stroh Center, and that was really well attended and had great energy. And when we leave the SIBO Center and take the field, when we see those east stands packed, it gives us juice. I mean, our players love that, and that thing was packed and loud and energetic, and we hope we can get them all back next week for Wyoming, and then Temple, Toledo, and Northern and Ohio. So we hope we get that for 5 more games, but you know, it felt like a home field advantage tonight. And I know it means a lot to our players to have the student support, so we certainly want to thank them, and especially our season ticket holders and everybody that came out here tonight.
We looked at the tackle leaders about midway through the third quarter and saw that Dwayne Woods was leading. I don't know where he finished. After last week, when he may not have been as involved, did you see him more involved tonight?
I think it's a little bit the nature of what they did. That last week, we really shut down the running game, and they got to a point they didn't try to run it. And this week, I mean, they kept trying to run it. So anytime a team is going to run the ball between the tackles, I would hope that Dwayne is very productive, and that shows up. And you know, Morgan kept trying to run it tonight, so that I'd expect Dwayne to be more productive. I think anytime you know you play a team that throws it, that your middle linebacker probably will not be as productive tackle-wise. When you play a team that runs it, you certainly hope you will be, because that's the guy that's got to get off his second-level blocks and make plays. I mean, Dwayne's a good player, so I mean, I'm glad we have him. But I was not concerned about him last week. I just think the nature of the game kind of made it tough for him to have a lot of tackles.
Anything else? Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it.